This is part 3 of Excel Chapter 1. We are on page 22. We have our Excel worksheet named Worksheet and a chart open. We will begin with the section titled Formatting the Worksheet. You format a worksheet to emphasize certain entries and make the worksheet easier to read and understand. Formatting can make your finished product look more professional as well. Go ahead and turn to page 23. Formatting includes changing characters, font style, size, and color. This should be familiar as these commands are similar as Word commands are. We covered last units. Go ahead and turn to page 24 to change a cell style. Number 1, click cell A1 and click the Cell Styles button, which is on your Home tab in the Styles group. So click Cells Styles. Point to and click on the title cell style. And we are on page 25 at the bottom. To change the font, click cell A2, click the font arrow, and let's change the font to Cambria. Now turn to page 26. At the bottom it talks about bolding text. Number 1, click cell A1, click the bold button. Mine's already selected. And then repeat step 1 to bold cell A2. So I'm going to click on cell A2 and then I'm going to click on the capital B to bold that. Now turn to page 27. To increase the font size of a cell entry, number 1, with cell A2 selected, click the font size arrow. And it's currently at 11, and we want to change that to 14. So click on 14 and turn to page 28. Now we are going to change the font color of a cell entry. Number 1, click cell A1, point to, and then click on the font color arrow. And then point to blue accent 1. If you hover your mouse over top of the different colors, you'll see what Microsoft calls those. And the book calls for blue accent 1. However, you can choose whatever color you prefer. And I'm going to go with a teal color. That's actually aqua, accent 5, darker 25%. At the bottom of page 28, number 3 says to repeat steps 1 and 2 to apply blue accent 1 to cell A2. So click on A2, and then we're going to change the color of the font. And again, the book asks you to change it to blue. If you like that color, go ahead. However, you can choose a different color, and I'm going to go with, how about a bright orange, accent 6, darker 25%. Okay, turn to page 29. Select cell A1. We are going to center cell entries across columns by merging the cells. So with A1 selected as our active cell, we're going to drag to cell N1 to highlight the range to be merged. So I'm going to click on A1, and then I'm just going to pull all the way over to cell N1 and release my mouse. Then I'm going to go to the Home tab and go to the Alignment group. And then I'm going to click Merge and Center. Merge and Center, merge across, merge cells, and unmerge cells are other options. So I'm going to click Merge and Center and turn to page 30. Number 3, repeat steps 1 and 2 to merge and center the worksheet subtitle across cells A2 through N2. So click on N2, then hold it, my mouse, click down and pull all the way over and release, and all of the cells are still selected. I'm going to go to the alignment group and click on Merge and Center, and I'm going to click Save. In the middle of page 30, it says to format rows using cell styles. Click cell A3 and hold it down, and then drag to cell N3 and release. Now we're on the Home tab, and we're going to the Styles group, and we're going to click on Cell Styles, and the book asks us to select the heading 1 cell style. So click heading 1 and turn to page 31. Number 2 says click the heading 1 cell style. We just did that. Okay. Now we want to click center to center the column headings in the selected range. Number 3 on page 31. We're going to use those steps 1 and 2 to center the column headings and format the range A8 to N8 with the heading 1 cell style format. So A8, I'm going to select that. I'm going to go back up to my cells styles and use the same heading and turn to page 32. Let's go ahead and center that as well because it asked us to and it would just look better. So let's center that and page 32. Number 4, we're going to use steps 1 and 2 to format the range A6 to N6, A6 to N6, and I'm going to hold the Control key down on my keyboard, so you do that too. And with my mouse, I'm going to select this range of A17 to N17. So now I have row 6 and row 7 in our range selected. And we are going to select the cell style called Total Cell Style Format. And voila. We are also going to format the range of A19 to N19. So A19, oops, to N19. And the book asks us to use the cell style called accent 1. So looking for the accent 1, it doesn't say the percentage. Oh yes, this one says 20%. So go ahead and select 20% for that. Continuing on, we're still on page 32, number 4, and it's the third bullet down. We're going to use steps 1 and 2 to format the range A4 to N4. So let's select A4 to N4 and hold our Control key down on our keyboard to select the range of A9. So for our rent, we want to select that, and we're still holding the control key on our keyboard. We're going to select A11 to N11, A13 to N13, and the last one of A15 to N15. So now you can release the control key on your keyboard, and all of those rows are still selected. And we are going to put the cell style accent 1 at, let's do, the book says 20%. Let's do 20%. And the fourth bullet says use steps 1 and 2 to format the range A5. So let's select A5 to A10, or N5, and then A10 to N10, A12. Oops, I forgot to hold down my control key on my keyboard. So I'm going to start over. That was A5, and then 10, 12, and 14, and 16. And we're going to change that to the cell style of 40%. If we did 60%, it'd be a little more dramatic in the color. So if you want, go ahead and click it 60% and click Save. The bottom of page 32 says, for number 1, select the range B4 to N4, and on the Home tab, in the number group, we want to click the accounting number format. So right here it says General. We can drop that box down and find the accounting number and click that. Then we need to select the range B5 to N5. And my N column is coming off the page, so I'm just going to come down here and zoom in a little bit. Now the numbers in range B4 to N4 turned into pound signs, but that is just because I've made the screen smaller. It's still the correct numbers. If yours does that as well, don't worry. Now turn to page 33. We want to go back to the number group, and this time we want the comma style button. And I don't see it here. I'm going to pause just for a second. Oh wait, there it is. I'm not going to pause. Here it is, comma. It was out there. That's a pretty popular one. So what happened is that after the thousands place, the comma is automatically inserted. So click Save. Now number 3 on page 33, click the accounting number, click cells B6 to BN6. And number 3 says to click the accounting number format. Now select cell A7. And we can see, well, we can't see, we have to make our page bigger. And now we have the $sign and the comma in the correct places. Click Save. To finish up part 3 of Excel Chapter 1, we're going to complete number 4 on page 33. It says use steps 1 through 3 to format the ranges B9 to N9, B17 to N17, and B19 to N19. So let's select those now, and we need B9. I'm going to hold the control key on my keyboard, select B17 to N17 and B19 to N19, and we're going to apply the accounting number format and select range B10 to N10, nope, N16. So B10 over and down to N16, and we are going to apply the comma style format to those and click Save. And I need to apply the cell, the accounting style, to N10 to N16. I'm sorry, not the accounting style, the comma style. There. Okay. Now, again, click Save. That should have been range B10 to N16, but I stopped it at M16 for some reason, but it should have been MN. Okay, that concludes part 3 of Excel Chapter 1, and I will see you back for part 4.